Okay. Um, First of all, I just want to say thank you, God. It is frustrating because this is my second video, and I spent like 30 minutes talking, realizing that the video did not take. So this is how my brain is just so fatigued that I'm not even seeing things in the right way. But I don't mind saying the same things over and over because I understand how limited my time is. And so saying these things over and over is something that helps me put things back in perspective. Um, I'm saying thank you, God, first of all, because I could have been one of these bottom feeders. Who I'm calling bottom feeders is we are test subjects. We are used to be subject to this technology that is going to be perhaps the future of weapons, the future of war in the future. Since the future of war is not going to be people shooting each other, it's probably going to be a cognitive sort of war because what they do to us is just break us down with the brain, our own brain. They weaponize the brain and break us down and torture us and slowly kill us. And we are just test subjects for that. It seems like they're finding ways to just destroy you. This is what this man says here. And I'll probably give a better snippet next time. But this is Robin Dawkins with a target individual talking to this podcaster. And they talk about the future of wars, and the future is going to be like this.
Yeah, alter their minds.
Personalities,
And it's like Chinese torture. I mean, this.
And they say the future is going to be altering the mind, fatigue them, alternate personality shifting, change them. The future of warfare is going to be a warfare that's cognitive. Instead of people shooting each other with guns, there'll be people, they'll break the people down using these manipulations to the point of that individual killing himself, losing his mind, and just let himself go or killing. And so we are just the subjects to this technology, the future of weaponry, the future of technology. They're doing all this kind of manipulations onto us and see how they can change us and wanting us to identify with the changes. The changes are so disturbing for me. They've been doing these things. So listen to how this man describes the ability of this technology.
Ultimately controlling the enemy. The book, The Art of War, is an excellent short read. And it's to make your enemy believe you are near when you are far. It's to believe you are weak when you are strong. If you acknowledge ahead of time, Lynn, would you have gone through as much pain? I mean, you would have been able better to cope early on, right? So we're trying to spread awareness and knowledge of you know that it's a machine and not your actual family, let's say, berating you. And mind control is so powerful, these weapons and voice to God. I mean, you have no ability to discern, like looking at a computer, a television, what goes into your mind. It is directly stimulating those neurons to think that. So I mean, is bypassing your peripheral vision. Some people can see through their third eye, and that's called in psychology the visual workspace. Some people can smell artificial things, taste artificial things. All the senses have been bypassed, like in the movie The Matrix. They're literally plugged in to a synthetic controlled reality that they cannot differentiate from their external bodily senses.
Do you?
So knowing that that all your senses, all your neurons are manipulated now, they force me to have disgusting reactions. And the way they do that is by making me have these reactions toward children. This is a part of the breaking down. They do the pedophilia type of torture. Then they want you to accept this manipulation because you are the one experiencing that. And then when they make you experience this disgusting reaction that you will not experience naturally, then they try to make you accept this. No, what we're doing right now is we're making you think the way you used to think when you were a kid. For me, at least, they're like, no, we're making you think like the way you used to think as a child. You understand? This is nonsensicalness. Who does that? Like, who will find logic in that? Who'll be like, the reason why you're thinking this way is because we're making you think the way you used to think when you were a child. Why would you do that? Why would you make a man, woman think like they were children? This is the nastiness. And they send these childlike individuals who are supposed to agitate you via V2K. Like, no, you see, that's proof. They are. It's all these mind games that you heard earlier to confuse you, to push you into accepting. This is what exactly this person was saying.
Ultimately controlling the act. The book, The Art of War, is an excellent short read, and it's to make your enemy believe you are near when you are far. It's to believe you are weak when you are strong. It's to believe you are, unorganized when you're very smart and strategic. And so they play all these games along with the torture scripts right out of the books. On the target, and they make them believe that their neighbor with a ray gun is doing it to them.
So they have these mind games. They try to make you believe this nonsensicalness and manipulate everything, your memory, your childhood memories. With me, I could bring that up. They try to exaggerate what I did as a child. There's something stupid I did as a kid, an impulsive moment of a child, never happened again. Try to make themselves believe that I'm going to identify with this manipulation because of the stupid, impulsive act of a kid as young as this. And then you hear these people going through their mind games. No, they're mad. They're all this retardation of logic. When in reality, they have this clear pattern of forcing people to have sexual stimulation toward children. And then try to make me think that, no, this is not what happens. That's not what's happening. It's just when you're like that or younger, that's how you used to think. You understand? Stupidity. Before, when I was making my first video, not knowing I was not recording, I was talking about how they even tried to, because this moment of me as a child was such an impulsive moment. It's not something I was like thinking about, oh, I'm going to do this, I can't wait for this to happen. No, I just did the damn thing and never thought about it ever again, or even thought about it before that. It just happened that moment I impulsive. And so they tried to make me think, no, but remember when you were watching TV and this person guy under my shirt, and she was doing things, and I was just like, they're just chilling and watching TV, not even caring. Nothing, no emotion, and they're like, no, but you felt like a little something. Yeah, I felt like relaxing. I felt like it was like somebody just kind of tickling me or something like that. It's like a relaxing feeling. And they try to be like, no, you see, that's proof that you was like, no. That was an impulsive moment of a child, and thankfully, I know I was a kid, but I'm just thankful. It's like, if this was something that I was thinking about and I wanted to do, it would have happened multiple times. Nothing stopped. Would have stopped that. It would have happened multiple times. But thankfully, it didn't happen multiple times because it was an impulsive moment of a child who did something stupid that they have to exaggerate. And so they try to create a false pattern to the point that they even go to me even when I'm younger, when I'm 13 years old. Just turned 13 in 2000. And there's this, I used to live in this family hostel. There's this little girl called Sarah. She's like 2, 3 year old. She comes, she tries to annoy me when I'm on the computer. And I'm looking at her, like, oh, you're so cute. And she had a big, chubby cheeks. And I kiss her cheeks. They are manipulating my memories to include sexual stimulations because they have the ability to change all your sensories, all your sensations in your memories. They are going back, they can alter the memories too. It's part of how they're going to alter your personality. They want you to accept this nastiness. But they're talking about me in my childhood, younger than this too. Talk about me at 9 years old, 10 years old. Just now, this is what we're doing. This is the mind games, right? Now it's you when you were a kid. We mapped your brain to you, and when you were a kid, when we bring that there was something there while we did. It's like yeah, you just altered the mind. It's part of this program. They can force people to get sexual stimulations whenever they want, and they do that for children for the purpose of breaking you down. It's part of this breakdown that this man says here.
It's the government, but you want a random sample. This is part of the reason of the breakdown, the torture that TIs are experiencing, is they have to break down the ego in order to be part of a greater mind or mind control.
It's part of how they break us down, I guess, to repattern us. There's a tactic to just really restructure a target, creating ways of that disturbs you, that annoys you, that agitates you, that disgusts you, to look at yourself differently. It's like they want you to identify with this manipulation, and they want you to experience this, and they condition you 24/7. Now I know who's doing this. This is governmental entities, right? I know there's nothing I can do about it really. I can try to live around, move around. It's not going to change anything. And so for me, they try to make themselves believe that they try to make me believe that there's some kind of like non-governmental entity doing that. Like they say, these mind games, these psyops. Try to do this here.
The trickery really is Aiton's, the information curves, people that will carry the V2K. So they'll say, we're the Russian government, we're the Chinese government, we're evil aliens, we're Satan's, satanic ritual abuse. And I've heard all these stories. One guy believed it was some 14-year-old kid with an Xbox that lived next door. The trickery really is that great when you're under hypnosis that people will believe something other than a massive government.
So I'm not delusional. I've understood who's doing this thing to me. With me, it's like, no, it's over now, it's over. It's like it's been over the second I was putting this program. We mapped it off. You manipulate me more than ever. Is that what you're trying to say? Because I'm now more than ever, I'm validated. I'm validated that these tactics of pedophilia type of torture is what they do. That they have the ability to manipulate the memories. That they try to create false reality. And the goal is to make you accept this false identity. And what they have to do is talk about me as a child. Try to find ways to create this pattern that's falsified. Well, I'm validated, but everything they do is not unique to me. And on top of that, to find out this massive government, these entities doing these things to us, the things they do to us to break us down are the things that are actually in reality is an issue within these entities. I keep bringing up the ranking that Child Protective Services gave the DoD network, meaning that after reviewing all the network in the United States, the DoD network is ranked 19th out of 2,900 in regards to sharing trafficking child porn. So this is like on top of all the validation I have. I have this validation, and you talking about me. You mapped me when I'm a kid. Stupidity. It's like you made my brain be a developing brain, and then they try to use these mind games using V2K, voice to skull. They use their tonality to try to sound sincere. As I'm saying that, they try to mess with me. To try to sound sincere, And they're like, no, we mapped it this you. It's like it's finding ways to try to confuse me and try to make me acceptive of these manipulations. But we've been validated. There's been all kind of weird things they're doing this morning. Unfortunately, the first video did not work out, but I'm gonna go quickly into some things they were trying to make me think. Today they forced me to have sensation and stimulations, as you heard. They have bypassed all my neuron sensation. They can control. They hack everything. Make me have stimulations and sensation that they want me to have. So if I look at a child, they're gonna do this nasty sensation and stimulation to break me down. But this is not only like the little kids, even people who are not even like, let's just say these little kids, older little kids, early teenage kids, late teenage kids, and even people who, just because they look young, just because they're adults but they look young adults, and so they force me a stimulation. I can tell when they give me the false stimulation because they do that even when I'm looking at a woman who's my age or about my age. Yesterday I was in the meeting and I saw this so disgusting. This time making me look at this woman this way. Now, I've looked at women in a very sexual way before. I'm not perfect. I know who I am. But I could tell when they force these things, like, oh, you're doing this thing. I start blocking. It's like, this is the nasty things they do to me. I can feel. But this, this woman walked, and she wanted to be seen. They make me look at her, give me this nasty false sensation to make me have, and she like, rat in the hell, and she goes, it's like, you're such a delusion. They are so gimmicky. Like I'm supposed to be like, oh no, I'm not being manipulated. I can tell I'm feeling this thing. Listen, she's very appealing looking, but with all due respect, I will not react this way. This is force. It feels like something is just like rushing in my brain. But they do the same thing when they do that towards kids. Delusional. This is so gimmicky. It's like, oh, sometimes the mind games consist of making me feel the same thing they make me feel toward children. So I look at a woman who I naturally would look at in a way that's appealing. Naturally, I will see her in this way. Like I'll be like, oh my gosh, wow. They would make me have the same force stimulations that they make me have toward this kid. So they say like, oh, we mapped it. This is the kind of mind games they play for you to identify with these manipulations. It's non-stop. Trying to find ways to play with these games. Um, and this happened once when I was going to the elevator, New Year's Eve. It was like 11:30, 11:40, something like that. A little bit before Christmas, before New Year's, 2023, I believe. I go into the elevator. I walk in. I'm going downstairs. I see two people, one on the right, one on the left. The person on the right, it's a woman or a female. Left, a guy. I look at her. Immediately, I'm feeling stimulation and sensation. I know it's false. It's like, oh, I look at her. I'm like, oh, I know it's the false stuff. She looks at her phone. She starts smiling. It's like, this is stimulation they forced me to have. I can feel that weird fake stimulation. I'm like, nope, I know it's the fake stuff. So I look at her and then I look at the guy and like, I say hi to the guy. I don't even say hi to her because I know that they wanted me like they're forcing me to have this stimulation sensation, and she enjoys that. It's like, oh, I'm not going to visit. It's disgusting. So I say hi to the guy. I don't say anything to this person because she wanted me to look at her so they can do this stimulation. Now, I'm giving her early 20s. I'm not sure, like between 19 and 22. This is why I could be completely wrong. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. I'm not here to guess people's age, but she's around somebody who can pass for either way, right? Maybe she's underage, but I'm not sure. To me, when I look at her, she looked like she could be a early 20, like a 20-year-old. I lived with people who were like 19 and 20, and sometimes they look like her, right? So when I'm thinking about the way I can just like gauge the age, I'm like around that age, because I used to have a roommate. She was 19 years old, and she looked younger than her. So I'm thinking maybe she's 20 years old, based on that. Now, I'm not here to guess people's age, right? I'm not a age guessing machine, but I know she's really young. Uh, I know if she's an adult, she's a very young adult, right? In my brain, they try to battle. It's like, oh, you see, didn't guess right. You see, that's this retardation. Now, there's nothing wrong with her. I'm just now will not be naturally feeling this way toward her. And I remember it's like, yes, I was saying even in my last video, it's like this person looks, like she's tall, and she could look like this what typical like models looking, not the model I would be interested in, but model in the sense that she's tall and she has her own thing, but I would not be finding her appealing. I would not. I would look at her like, okay, hi, she'll do nothing to me. It's not somebody that I would be interested naturally. And so I knew they did a stimulation sensation for that purpose, because they're forcing me to. Like, I'm not. This is fake stuff. I know. I'm sorry. Not for me. I'm not saying I'm better looking than her. I'm more appealing to her. I'm sure I'm not appealing to her, but I know that this is not naturally happening. I'm telling you that me, I'm not naturally experiencing this. I'm not. This is you're not like that, okay? And no, not trying to say that I'm better than her in look wise, but I'm saying like you will not make me react this way. You normal, like you're not normal. But I'm saying like she's not like to me. It's just like she will not do anything to me. She just like look some young person there that was just whatever, nothing. But now they try to force like some forced stimulations, and so that's what they do. They use these manipulations to try to make me accept this personality they've created. They want me to be somebody who is, like this man said. This I don't know if he said about personality shifting. They try to create an implanted personality to try to force you to see kids in these ways, or somebody who's young in this way. Listen, with all due respect, if somebody's, if there's like an early 20-year-old who is very curvaceous and has like womanly features and stuff, of course I'm going to recognize that as that. I'm not that stupid. But they don't even do that based on that. It's just because this person is young. Stimulation. So they were like, "Oh, you see, you want?" I was like, "No," because I made a video about how they do this. It's like, you remember that model? A model. I was like, oh, I'm saying that the way she looks is just like, but to me, it's not. It's not the model I would feel appealing toward. And they're like, "No, but in 2014, you followed this person." I followed this person in 2014. This person, she looked like that. I thought she was an adult. She looked way older than her age, and she looked womanly when she was not a woman. She looked like a woman to me, so I thought she was a woman, not knowing that at that time she was not an adult yet. She just looked like this, but not an adult. I found out later on, I was like, what? She was not. She looked so much like an adult. It's like, you see, we got you. I was like, stupidity. It's like, listen, she looked like she was in 20 some year old when she wasn't. Like, and me following her thinking that she was. But it's so sad. And now, what they're trying to do is convince me, make me accepting of these manipulations. They do these things to try to like make me acceptive. And like they're bringing up anybody that they can confuse me. How old is this person? How old is this person? I was in a train. There was this like black young adult. I give her like 22, 23 years old. And because it's like the 22, 23 is like, is she really 22? Is she really 23? Like, that's the age I would give her. She had like dreadlocks. She had like a cool style, like urban style. And they're like, you see how you looked at her? It's like, man, listen, I'm not gonna guess people's age. But they're forcing me to be like, no, you see, that's proof. And she was with a guy that looked like he was her boyfriend. They look like the same age. And that was in the train. And the boyfriend too looked like it was the early 20s, like 23, 20, like around that age. But now today they force me to like, they have this like little teenage kid that obviously are teenager or look like they're really teenager. I don't know. Maybe they're adult that look like kids. Maybe it's the opposite, but they look like it. Next door, there was this guy who came out with some girl, some freaking like weird looking kid, like some. So I don't know if she's a teenager or an adult. She comes out and she start walking. They have this weird. These teenage kids have this weird walk. That to them, in their mind, I think they believe that that's like a very appealing way of looking. They walk with this like weird like it's just weird. It's just so like it's common. It's like they don't know how to walk, like in an attractive way, because they try to look like sexy, I guess, but they don't know. So they have this weird like and they just perk up their butt. It's like, this kid, stop, get away. And this next door person did that. This little with some guy who for sure like I'm like this. You look like a kid, or you look like you could be a teenager. See, I could be wrong, but that's what she looked like. And the guy who he looks very much like an adult. I guess they were supposed to make it look like they're together. And if I thought they were together, I would start seeing her like she's an adult. No, but she looked like a tiny little thing. Living next door, just walking together. But that's what they do. And so they do everything possible to do these mind games, to try to get you to accept these personality manipulations. And in my brain, they're just going back to this like couple of like this black 20-some-year-old with a guy in the train. They're in the train together. This is not a neighbor. They look like they're definitely, something together. They're perhaps a couple. And I will give them like 22, 23, something like that. And no, they try to make me look at her in a sexual way, but she's like a 23-year-old. If anything, what I would appreciate about her is the way she was dressed. She had a nice style. She had a very like stylish kind of like urban style that I liked about her, about the style. But they try to like create that in a sexual way, make me think of a butt or whatever. It's like, okay, this is the things you can do, but really, what would make me see her is the way she's put together. She had the dreadlocks. She had but they change it into something sexual. Now, their goal is to try to make me accept these pedophilia things they make me experience. Sometimes what I have been doing, because they can confuse my brain so much, I look at what a 23-year-old look like just to remember, okay, this is what a 23-year-old look like. Okay, that makes sense. You understand? Like, they just confuse me and do these mind games to make me accept these pedophilia things. So to all target individual, stay strong. Stay strong. Because they're gonna make you lose your mind if you don't. And do not lose who you are. This job is to alter your mind. Well, you have no choice about the alter your mind, but alter your personality. So recognize when you're being falsified, when your mind is being falsified, because this is part of this technology. They want you to accept this, and they play these mind games to confuse you and disorient you into accepting this manipulation. Stay strong.